What is the real reason why I actually moved out of Czech Republic? After the story I posted yesterday, a few of you reached out to me, wanted to know more details. And yes, obviously the weather here in Portugal is absolutely incredible. We love that, and it was one of the reasons why we moved. But from my side, it definitely wasn't the only one. And yes, I was reminded very much of it yesterday. And here is a little story of what happened. So, over the weekend, we went for a trip in Cascais, which, if you don't know where it is, it's basically like half an hour drive from Lisbon. It's a beautiful coastal town, just magnificent, absolutely, by the look of it. But also the experience of being there is so abundant. It's just feels so calm, so kind, while it's very lively. While we were there and enjoying our time, there was one specific thing that really stood out for us. And it was something we have never seen anywhere else we have traveled so far. The amount of interracial couples and interracial families that we have seen there. And it was very clear that maybe some of these people were not originally local, but they were living there. And overall, it actually, even though it felt almost kind of like how I would imagine like LA or Miami type of vibe, it actually felt very family oriented as well. So that was quite interesting. Just walking around and seeing literally even the abundance of the diversity when it comes to overall cultures, and then all the cultures blending together in these beautiful, gorgeous families. And now it's important to say, and maybe I don't know if everyone knows, but I'm in an interracial relationship, and that even feels ridiculous that I need to specify it, but for the purpose of this story, it's important. Now, contrary to this beautiful experience, yesterday happened. And yesterday was just one of those days when, things are just not working out for you. I already woke up super tired, and then slowly, like just weird experiences started happening. And this is normal, right? It happens. Like, not every day is always like crazy amazing. But the contrast of what we lived during the weekend made everything so much more visible. And the weirdest part, so many of these negative experiences were now connected to my country of origin, Czech Republic. For those of you who are not maybe familiar where it is, it's a small country in the center of Europe. Now, first thing that happened is that I was supposed to have a business meeting with a Czech company, and basically I got ghosted. Then when I actually reached out to them, it was just like super weird vibe. We did reschedule, so let's see, but it was just like off. But yeah, whatever, anything can happen, right? And overall, the day kind of continued in a chaotic way. And the moment when I just want to chill, I was a little bit on my phone, and I see that I started receiving some hate comments on YouTube. Okay, whatever. It's uncomfortable, of course, but some random stranger on internet's not gonna do anything with me, right? So it's like, okay, get over it. But then I actually received a message from somebody who started following me, I guess like 2 days ago, like completely recently, knows nothing about me, if maybe has seen just the story from Cascais. And on one of the pictures from the story, there was actually my boyfriend from behind, just like looking at the ocean. Based on this story, this person wrote me a long message asking me if this is my boyfriend and that I should basically be careful not to find myself in an abusive relationship. There was a long message with all of these things that happen in the world, right? This was a Czech mail, and I have to say, when I received it, I was first like, what the hell? Like, why do you think this is okay to write it to a stranger on the internet? Like, that's first of all. But second, I got really angry. Not so much because of this ignorant person, but I got angry about how much it affected me. And I to be honest, I felt it so much deep inside of my heart that I'm like, how come I cannot get rid of the feeling? And I realized that the hate comment, the ghosted meetings, whatever, I don't actually take these things that personally, and maybe because of my trained mindset, I just get over it super quickly. I'm like, hey, I can give the people the benefit of the doubt, or just whatever, right? It's just not my people. But I definitely do struggle way more in the moment when I feel, maybe it's a scurvy woman in me, the moment I feel like someone is attacking my family. It just doesn't fly with me. And suddenly I realized that this experience that I had with this random person brought me all the way back to when we still used to live in Czech Republic, and where even I don't need to protect my partner, like he's a grown-ass man, and he knows how to handle these things way better than me. But when I was there, what I had to learn is to close my eyes and close my ears, because he didn't understand when we were walking down the streets, but there were moments when people were staring like crazy at us, or when I would hear certain comments, and you're thinking, do I really want this to be my daily existence? And we didn't have any attacks or anything like that. I don't want to say that this is Czech Republic. I don't have this experience. I cannot talk to that. But I realized how much more free I can be here when I'm in a place where I just don't have to deal with these things. Now, this type of experience is not connected only to race. My whole life, I was a little bit different than the typical people. Always people around me, I felt like it's okay they didn't necessarily need to share their opinion about how I should live, whether it was my lifestyle, my food preferences, whatever it was. And when you grow up in a place like that, you just feel like it's normal. And then I was realizing how much I was getting actually defensive and so on. And again, I learned how to work with that, right? Right now, this is not the story of like crying about how I was brought up. No, not at all. But it just kind of makes me feel of like the metaphor of if you're gonna have a flower in a dark room, it might survive for some while, but if you're going to put it in front of a window to some daylight, it's actually going to flourish and blossom. And that's what I feel happened once I moved to Portugal. Now again, this is not crying for help. I definitely recognize that it has helped me build some resilience. I'm sure my partner has built some resilience throughout his experience. So of course, there's going to be benefits in it. But there is a difference between gaining that resilience maybe in a certain location, job, partnership, whatever it is, and then recognizing when it's just not serving you anymore and when it's maybe time to go. And for us, it was literally like divine timing. It was perfect. We have learned so many things on the way, and then suddenly seeing what it's like to be in a place that you can just be free is incredible. I overall feel it here. Again, I can only speak for Lisbon. I don't know other parts of Portugal, but I overall see here so much diversity. And not only when it comes to race, when it comes to same-sex relationship, and no one is staring. Everyone feels so. So if this was the permission you needed to let go and maybe move to somewhere else, or again, move to a different job, move to a different workplace, or just a different team, take that permission. Take it. It's okay. You can do that. But I have to say the place right now where I'm struggling in is not so much about how these things affect me. Again, I'm doing a lot of work on myself. I can deal with that. The same, my partner as well. But where I do struggle is the thought of having a family. I really want to have a family. Both of us, we are in agreement to that. But that means we're going to have mixed kids. And I'm not sure how to handle situations like that. I am trying to do a lot of research on it. We are not yet in a place where we want to have kids right now, so I still have time. But it's been years actually since I'm doing research on that, because I still cannot figure it out. I don't know how to be a mother who protects without overprotecting and letting them gain their own. So as a white female from Europe who is also heterosexual, I realized that I have grown up with so much privilege, right? I'm fully aware of it, and I know that my life already, by all of that, is already so much easier. And that also brings me to a point where if I'm going to have mixed kids, I'm not really sure how to handle these topics, because no matter how much I want to educate myself, no matter how much I try, I will never live their experience the same way as I will never live my partner's experience. So I cannot still fully relate. I cannot fully get it. And to be honest, I'm really thinking about it a lot. I don't have any solution. If you do have any resources, please let me know. I would be very grateful. And I think just already having these questions in mind is a good way to start, but I've had this question in mind for a while now, and I still haven't figured it out, and I guess I won't until I have the kids. So yeah, that's the story of how an internet person caused me to go through all this mental process. Let's be kind to each other. It doesn't cost us anything, and you don't know what people are going through. You don't know people's history, and so out of nowhere, just questioning somebody just because of their existence, it's sick. It's kind of sick. So don't be that person. And if you feel like you are in an environment that you have all of this around you, I get you. And if you feel like it's going to serve you more to get out of there, right? I actually had a lot of shame around that. I don't anymore, and I definitely don't want this to be throwing a bad light on Czech Republic, because apart from some of these things, it's a beautiful country, but it has a lot of space for improvement as well. So it needs to be called out sometime.